In this part of the Rapid Build series, we'll take a look at Infigo Invent for InDesign along with MegaEdit products. MegaEdit products are variable products with templates configured to allow customization of products on a vast array of levels. Using MegaEdit, a customer can have complete control over the design of their products. We'll create a very simple example to demonstrate the fundamental capabilities, but remember that this is only scratching the surface. The Infigo Academy contains separate learning pathways going into much greater detail on both MegaEdit and Infigo Invent for InDesign. So to begin, we'll actually download and install Infigo Invent for InDesign. You can download it from the Infigo help desk. The easiest way to access this is from within your Infigo admin area. Just click on the help desk icon on the top of the screen. And then just search for download Invent. From there, you're looking for the article which is download, install, and enabling Invent. And this will guide you through the entire process. So just to summarize, before being granted instant download access, you will need to provide some information. This is simply to be so that we are aware of who is using the Invent plugin, and so we can keep you updated when there's an update that you can download. Once you've downloaded it, installation is simple. Just follow the steps detailed on this particular article. In a nutshell, the process consists of downloading the Invent installation package, downloading and installing a recommended Adobe Extension Manager, installing the Invent package via the Extension Manager, opening Adobe InDesign, and then enabling the Infigo Invent extension. So we'll resume now with our Infigo Invent package enabled within our InDesign window. So you can do that just by going to the Windows dropdown on the top of your InDesign screen, looking for the extension section, and then you've got the Infigo Invent plugin that you can activate here. Then that will show up as a separate tab by default on the right hand side of your screen. Now, if you are following along with this tutorial, then there is a sample file, the one that I've got on screen, that is available for download. You can find the link in the Infigo Academy article or the step-by-step guide which accompanies this video. We'll take a look at the fundamentals of configuring a template inside Infigo Invent, followed by a look at how we converted this into a product within our Infigo storefront. So in our example, we're simply aiming to create one variable image field and one variable text field, just to get a general feel for this functionality. Okay, so what we're going to do is just tackle each of these tabs in turn, just to go through the process of completing this variable template. So we'll start off with the Resources tab. So resources can be uploaded to Infigo Invent for use in your dynamic product templates. Resources can take numerous forms, consisting of groups such as, and if I click on Add Resource Set, you'll see the options available. Things such as clip art sets, text libraries, background libraries, color sets, and font sets. And what we're basically creating here is folders containing a group of assets of those particular formats. These resources can be linked to other areas of your Invent template, as we'll discover later on. When you eventually export your Invent file for use in MegaEdit, these resources will be taken with it. So as our example here, we're just going to create a new clip art set. So each resource set will have a different configuration of options associated with it. However, they are all essentially doing the same thing. So they're just providing you with a location to upload a selection of items which you will subsequently be able to use on your variable template. For a clip art set, this is nice and easy. I just need to enter a name. of that particular set. And then we just need to upload some appropriate resources. So you can see there the supported file types for this particular resource set. I'm just going to click on Add Images or PDF. And then input some appropriate clip art. So before we go ahead and save this, we're just going to click this checkbox here. So this creates a drop-down variable automatically, which is associated with those resources. Now, variables are a means of allowing users to interact with our templates. With a product template from Invent, they will usually take the shape of a form, which appears to the right of your screen when configuring a product on your storefront. And we'll see this a little bit later on. Variables come in a number of different forms, depending on the format of the data that they hold. They may be manually created, as we'll see later, or they could be a simple drop-down variable where users can select from a drop-down list of options, which can be automatically created from our resource set using this checkbox here. In this case, for example, it will create a drop-down list on our eventual form, which allows us to switch between our uploaded images. So now I can just go ahead and click Save. You can see our resource set has now been created, and I'm going to go across to the Variables tab. So we can see that one drop-down variable has already been created from that resource set that we created. Now we'll manually create a second variable. In this case, it will be a text input, where users can enter a text string to appear in a specific location on the template. So if we just click on Add Variable, that will show us a list of the available variable types, which one you select will be based on what you're trying to accomplish. So for example, we've already got a drop-down variable. We're going to use a text variable in this case. We've got a Boolean variable, which is either a checkbox or a true/false, and so on and so on. So they'll all give you slightly different data format types. For this example, we wish users to enter a text string to appear on the actual template, so a text variable is applicable. So first and foremost, we'll enter a name for this particular variable. And then we can see that there's a range of other options available on here. Now, we won't be covering absolutely all of them, but just to give you a summary of the primary ones. So the first thing I want to do here is to enter a default value. So we'll soon be linking this variable to a text frame on our actual template. Setting a default value is not a necessity. However, it will ensure that we don't automatically end up with an empty text box. This will ensure that when the template is loaded and viewed as a MegaEdit product, text is automatically present. Now you can see at the moment that this is showing as a single line where I can enter a default value. If I wanted to enter a paragraph, for example, I could switch the mode to be a multi-line, and you can see now that I can enter a multi-line default, and eventually we'll be able to enter a multi-line entry into this variable as well. So other options on this screen allow you to input validation options and various different formatting options. Each variable type will also have its own set of options. The Infigo Academy contains detailed tutorial learning pathways on both Infigo Invent and MegaEdit if you want further information on how to use these. So with all that information in place, I'm just going to click Save to confirm that variable. So now that we've created resource sets and we've linked those resource sets to variables that our end users will be able to take control of, our next step is to link those variables to our actual artwork itself so that the system knows what needs to change on the artwork itself when a user changes the variable. So we're going to begin by selecting the image frame that's located on the provided InDesign file. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to the Properties tab on the Invent plugin. Start by clicking the Enable button. So all existing elements of the InDesign file are set not to be controlled by Infigo Invent by default. This means that if the template were to be imported into MegaEdit at this stage, the template would be completely static and nothing would be variable from within MegaEdit, even if you've already set up resources and variables. By enabling frames on your template, like we've just done here, you're confirming that Invent will see these as a variable field. As such, numerous additional options will be displayed within the Invent tab when a field is enabled. Now, what we want to do is to form a link by mapping the image field to our image variable. So to do this, we need to locate the mapping options within the Properties tab. Here you can link the field to the resource or one of your defined variables. By linking this field to an image variable, it will ensure when the user changes the variable using the MegaEdit form, as we'll see later, the image shown on the actual product will also change. So what we want to do here is on our mapping, select what we want to map to, so either a variable or a resource. In our case, we want it to change the image based on the variable selection. So I select variable, and then choose the appropriate variable. And that is the link confirmed. Next, we'll link our text field, which is down here, to our text variable, so that whatever is populated in the text box, which will be shown in the MegaEdit form, will be displayed on the artwork as well. So this follows a similar process. We select the frame and go to the Properties tab, enable the frame to make it dynamic, and then we're going to choose a field that we're going to link this to. And in our basic example, that's all we're going to set up at this stage. So now we're at the point of actually exporting this InDesign file, this Invent file, for use in MegaEdit. So to do this, we need to go across to the Export tab. This will give us a summary of what's contained within this particular Invent file. So we can see there's 2 fields, there's 2 variables, 5 clip art items as a resource set, and only 1 page. Now we're just going to set an export file. So this is just selecting a location and a file name. Click Save, and then we're ready to start our validations. So Invent will begin some validation checks to ensure that there are no discrepancies in your template setup. So you'll need to repair any validation problems. In this case, it's only saving the document, but this could be if it's sensing a mismatch between where it's expecting a variable to be used and maybe a variable is not linked, for example. And then once we've sorted those validation problems, we can go ahead and export. A MEX file will then be created, ready to be imported into your Infigo storefront and be used via MegaEdit. So what we're going to look at next is actually importing the MEX file into your Infigo storefront. If I just go back to my storefront that we have been utilizing, I'm going to navigate to my product management where we create new products. Add a new product, and enter a product name. Now for the product type, we want to make sure that we've got MegaEdit selected. So whether we intend to create a dynamic template from scratch in MegaEdit or import an Invent file, we do select MegaEdit from the product type dropdown. However, if we're importing an Invent file, which is a MEX file, we select it using the Upload Invent Package button here. So I select that button and locate the file that we've just exported from InDesign. With that done, click on Create. This will import and set up your MegaEdit product on your Infigo storefront. You'll immediately be taken to the product details page where you can configure the product landing page in more detail. As with stock and other product types seen in previous tutorials, MegaEdit products have a fully configurable landing page. Your product template can be viewed and further developed inside the MegaEdit editor. So this is accessed from the front end of your storefront. Directly access the product landing page for this product by clicking on the View Product Page icon. The primary difference between MegaEdit product landing pages and other product types is these landing pages will have a Start button, which then launches the MegaEdit editor showing your product template. So at this point, the MegaEdit editor has been loaded. So further configuration of the product can be performed within MegaEdit. However, from our Invent file, we can see that a form over on the right-hand side has been created with two of our variables that we specified inside Invent. Changing the image variable will change the image displayed in the product. Changing the text variable will also update the text displayed on the product. MegaEdit contains many features that will not be detailed in this rapid build series. Check out the Infigo Academy for more detailed tutorials on the use of MegaEdit or Invent. So from here, once your customer has finished specifying their product, as they will be presented with a very similar interface, they simply go to Preview to see their finalized product, and they can add to basket and proceed with the order.